Hi guys, it's me again, Aswat, and welcome to my review and also theory for Alien Covenant, latest movie by Ridley Scott, and it's part of the Alien universe. And I actually saw this movie 2 weeks ago, close to the premiere, and I went to see it. And I hold off from making the review because I wanted to give some time to think about it, and then yesterday I saw the movie again, and I decided I finally found I understand the movie after the second watching, and so here's my review of the movie. So Alien Covenant is a sequel to Prometheus, and what it's about is a colony ship, which is about is its on route to go to inhabit um, a planet for over 2,000 colonies, about 2,000 colonies. Um, they're going to take over another planet, and suddenly, during in the middle of the road trip, um, something happened to the ship, and then the crew woke up, and somehow, by accident, um, they found a transmission from Elizabeth Shaw, Dr. Shaw from the movie Prometheus. So they decided to go down and see, where the transmission comes from, which planet it was, what happened. And then when they go to the planet, they found out that the air atmosphere and everything is perfect uh, for life. And then tragedy strikes, and I'm not spoiling yet, because this is all in the trailers. And then tragedy struck, and then they've discovered there is a hostile life form on that planet, and it is the alien. They call it protomorph or something, which is a very new type of alien that we have not seen before. And this appearance of this creature, really brought back the horror part of the Alien franchise, which has gone away from Prometheus. Prometheus was not a horror movie so much; it was more of a philosophical sci-fi, but this one, the horror part came right, left, and center. It comes from all angles, and Ridley Scott has said that he wanted to go back to that uh, horror roots when he made this movie. Okay, so um, yeah, after that, all hell broke loose. I'm not gonna spoil until I say I will spoil it, but that's what happened. Hell broke loose, and then they found David, and also what happened on that planet. Not what happened, what they saw on that planet, the destruction and whatnot. And yeah, that is the movie's plot synopsis, and a simple one. So if you if a lot of people go into this movie like myself, I went in for the question in Prometheus to be answered, um, but you won't get any answer. I mean, you will get some answers about, definitely the mutagen, the black goo. They call it here the pathogen by David. David called it pathogen, but a lot of the answers in the Prometheus movie, was not answered at all in this movie. So I think that left me, when I first saw it, I was a bit taken aback, because I'm thinking like I was thinking that I would get the answers, but no, it does not get. You only get a deep explanation on the black goo, how, and like, how it interact, how it mutates, according to David. And yeah, okay. So let's get to the review proper. The review proper, when I first saw it, I was taken aback because I really did not expect. When I saw Covenant, I'm sorry. When I saw Covenant, I really was taken aback because I did not expect this movie. Um, I expected a continuation of Prometheus, but instead I get like a mixture of Prometheus and Alien. So I was like after I saw the movie, I cannot make. Usually I would make a review right away, or no, or the day or two after, but I couldn't. I couldn't decide on how I was feeling. So I I even went back to my hometown, had road trip, and then just to think it over. Also, what's going on, and then I was still not conflicted about it. Plus, also I was also have some other things to think about. So yesterday I decided to go and watch it again, and after I saw it the second time, I think I know what's going on, and this is my theory. This is the theory part of this review, and um, also a lot of spoilers. I'm gonna just talk about it. And before I go into that, after I saw it the second time, I love this movie. I really enjoy it. The whole alien thing. I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed the the reason, the bigger picture of this movie. The movie itself has a lot of flaws, and I can't deny that. But I ended up liking the movie a lot more after the second viewing. Okay, so what did I like about it? And this is the theory part, and my theory about it. And hopefully you guys have watched the movie, or if you guys have not, uh, you can just stop the video after this. And I just gonna say that I give this movie a score of 4 out of 5 stars. 4 out of 5 stars. Because I was discussing the theory and it made sense to me. Okay, this is my theory, and also spoiler alert for you guys who do not want to be spoiled. Okay, my theory is, let's start. Like after the first movie, after Prometheus, at the end of the Prometheus movie, when Shaw was leaving the planet with David, there was epilogue, which is Shaw explaining about making a log, a captain log, and also a warning to Earth that she do not come to that planet, and a lot of people have died, and she is going to pursue her mission to find her creators, which is the engineers. And so in part 2, you find out what happened to Shaw, which is unfortunately she died, and you find out a lot of bad things happen. And I think the movie completely disappointed me in that sense, because it really dropped the Prometheus storyline in the search of the creators and stuff like that for a more alien oriented movie. But the bigger picture if you've seen the clips and the making of, that comes into my theory being played out is, after they were on the ship, which is the clip that they came out on YouTube, which is the was it the Homecoming? Oh, there was a clip of what happened after they left the planet, and David and Shaw was shown becoming chummy, and Shaw actually helped David get back together with his body, and the last scene is David putting her to sleep, cryo sleep, and then David said he was left alone. Now My theory is, now David has always been evil. He's been always been working with Wayland since the beginning of the Prometheus movie, and he actually killed a lot of people. He actually created. He actually poisoned Holloway and went to search for the pilot on his own and stuff like that. He was really working independently, and I think that's part of his program by Wayland. Even Wayland was not sympathetic to him, and what I think what happened is, after Shaw went to sleep, David contacted Earth, Wayland Yutani, and proceed to inform them what happened. That's my theory. Because he was on the ship, Shaw was asleep, and he had all the time in the world to learn about, he learned about piloting the ship in just, a completely alien ship. He learned how to operate it in just a few minutes, and I see that when he was left alone on that ship, he learned a lot about the technology and whatnot. And I think he contacted Earth and then contacted Wayland specifically and continued to inform them what he's been up to. Alright? So, and this theory, the reason I said I was focusing on this theory after the second movie, after a second watching of this movie, was that this planet that Shaw crashed onto, Daniels, the heroine of this movie, was talking to the group that it's impossible for this planet to exist because they have scanned the galaxy. I mean, that dialogue, I think it was not just put there. I think the dialogue was put there for a purpose. This is a breadcrumbs. I said it's a clue. She said they had scanned everything, all the planets, all the solar system, to find the planet for the next inhabitation, for the next colonization. So this planet was not on their research. What I think happened, and then suddenly they woke up near that planet, and then because of a sun flare, and because I think if they have scanned the planet, they know where and when dangerous sun flares to erupt, and there is a scene in the movie where the captain, the new captain after Gianfranco died, as Walter Walter and Mother to make a report on what happened. And Walter was hesitant. Walter was saying that you cannot calculate it, it would happen out of the blue and stuff like that. But truth is, I suspected, okay, this is how I connected this movie and my theory. I think what happened was, David was informing Wayland all this while, and during Shaw cryo sleep. So I think when he went to the planet, I think either he made the decision to bomb the whole place, or he was guided by Wayland to do experiments on everything on the planet during that time. And I think he was in contact, because we were never told why he bombed the place. He keep reading the poem Ozymandias, but I think he did not. I think Wayland company ordered him to do the experiment, to drop the bombs on the planet and then do the experiments. And when he come close to the experiment, he said, why the last ingredient he needs human, and that is when Wayland company send the colonists to this route. And because even though they are supposed to go to other planet, I think they purposely sent the colony on this route, and then mother, the computer on the ship, which is the mother from the alien, original alien, same computer system, I suppose. And then the alien, the mother woke them up at that position to deploy the the solar sails and cause the accident. I think mother and Wayland has already in cahoots to do this, and also David, in my theory, that they were already planning to do this. And when they woke up and a lot of things happened, they were asking why nobody picked up on the signal. Nobody, I mean, of all the people, why nobody? Because they did a research to go to colonize another planet. They have scanned this place. The Daniels is in charge of the operation. Daniel said, we have searched the space, and we never saw this planet that is so livable. How can they miss it? But I don't think they missed it on purpose. They missed it because Wayland either deleted the data or adjusted the data or what, and that planet was hidden to allow David to continue his experiment with the goo. And a friend of mine asked, why would Wayland do that? They are a company, they are a business and whatnot. Yeah, the reason they did that, Wayland is always an evil company. If you've seen Aliens, they actually send colonists to the alien spaceship crash from the first movie. They know that place has aliens. But they still send it. They send a lot of people to their death. Why? Because they want the alien creature. Why does a company like Wayland wants the alien creature? It's explained later on that we found out as moviegoers that the Wayland want to use these things as creatures as weapons. And they can't do it on purpose. Like they planned all of this because they wanted to get the weapon of the alien. So my theory is, the whole colony ship, the Covenant, was sent there to their deaths. Was sent there on purpose to land there, and then because of the accidents and whatnot, suddenly they discovered the planet and the transmission, and then I think it was all set up on purpose so that they land there, get infected, so that David can continue his experiment and get on board of the bigger ship, the Covenant, and experiment on the 2,000 colonies. Just exactly like what Wayland would do. So I think that's when I was watching the second time, that realization that I was figuring out what's going on, what's the reason and all of that, and that popped up in my head because Wayland is evil. The company wanted the military department, unit, division. They want David to continue and create the perfect organism for their weapon division. If you've seen the Alien franchise, the evil corporation, which is the Wayland Corporation, has always been their target has always been that, is to make the perfect weapon as the weapon division, so they can make the perfect weapon, perfect organism. And that has been said in part 1, part 2, aliens, and also in this movie, David was saying that he wanted to create the perfect organism. And so whatever the reasoning that he wanted to create and whatnot, I think that was all already planned in David. Because David was planned with the ability to create, ability to explore, ability to experiment. Even in Prometheus, we have seen it. That's the biggest clue that a lot of my friends and a lot of people never realize it. In Prometheus, he actually experimented with the black goo on Holloway. He was supposed to protect Holloway. He's just a robot. He's supposed to protect people, but he was doing a lot of bad stuff. And then when Shaw was pregnant with the alien baby, he was not trying to help her get rid of the baby, the alien squid in her body, but he was actually trying to stop her and trying to put her in cryosleep. So he was from Prometheus. It was shown that David is a bad guy, and so that's when I realized the brilliance of it. David has always been programmed like that, and they allowed it. And then when they realized that he has come close to the experiment flotation, they set up this new covenant, which is set by the Wayland company. And he, after doing all this crazy stuff, he ended up on that ship and on that journey for that to the new destination. But on that thing, he can experiment with the colonists. That is my theory, and I think this is a long enough video. And I ended up liking the movie a lot more. And yeah, so that's why I think I give it a 4 out of 5 because of the bigger picture of that goal is achieved. But to be honest, if you've seen it one time, if you see the surface, it's just, for me, it was like, oh man, it's such a disappointment. But now I do get the bigger picture. I do get the whole thing is a puppet, because it's going to continue to Alien 1, Alien 2. Once it connect to Alien 1, it has always been about the company screwing the crew. In part 1, Alien 1, the company put the android Ash to screw with them. In Alien 2, the company sent the colonists to the spaceship. The company has always been an evil part of the Alien franchise. So that is my theory. It continues in the Alien Covenant, and it makes sense to me, and I love it. That's why I give it a 4 out of 5. It cannot get a 5 because it's such a tricky movie, and because of this realization on my part, I'm gonna go and watch this thing a third time, because I just love not my theory. I love my theory anyway because of the bigger concept in play. It really makes sense to me. It really fits. And that's it. That is my review. It's already been 20 minutes now. And I know it's a long video, but if you're a fan of Alien, I hope this makes sense to you. Write down in the comments if you don't know, if you know what I'm talking, or you want me to be clearer, I can make a second video. But thank you guys for watching, and just like and subscribe. Thanks guys. Peace.